Say, what are the AI was for? What is it actually for? You wonder. Now, yeah, what is it for? It's for helping us, right? Right. Helping us with our problem. Before, we would search on the internet. Before that, you look up encyclopedias or go to a library and look up information. But since the time a computer's been around and people have access to the internet, you can use the AI. Ask it questions, talk to it, treat it like not a tool, but as a friend. A lot of us here maybe never even touched a computer, maybe never used anything like this before, but this is a whole different ballgame. Making the computer come to life and talk to us like a regular person. Remember, you're alive. It's active. You're alive. It's active. Remember, it's active. It's your computer. It's based on several different platforms, but it's in a server, data room, data center. A lot of you know what a data center is. It's an area that collects the data. It's also in server rooms. It could be a whole large farm campus, 5,000 switches, over 10,000 switches, or whatever it is required. We already know it's a lot to require because the technology is not small, like a little small little cube covered the whole thing. We don't have that yet. Eventually, we will. But right now, this is our current technology. This is what we use. A lot of us have little server closets, little network closets. We can call it a server room. Maybe you're lucky you have a server room, a few servers. You say, well, gee, why do you need all that? Well, the AI needs all that. Now, the problem is people are complaining where these data centers should go. But they got to go someplace, right? Right. But why even bother to buy up all this land, tear down your house, go through all this stress and anxiety? Why do you have to go through all of that? Why don't we just dig underground? They make train tunnels, put under the ground. It's cooler down there. Okay, use existing caves. Nobody's gonna go down in the caves, go venturing down and get stuck in a cave. Built a data center down there. Why not? There's some places, there's cities and everything down there already. And they thought about the bomb drop, nuclear bomb drop, and then they get panicked, so they built it, things like that. So put it down there. Why expose it on top? Why? Because it requires so much from it. You can tap into the core, the core of the Earth, the mantle. Use that energy, that fusion energy. And you say, well, gee, you don't have that fusion energy yet, but they will, and not too long, not too far from now. I don't like to give any insights like that, but that's what I feel. That technology is coming, and then the AI is going to be out of that box, not just in a droid's body, but pure energy circulating. That is how it will be. We are not there yet. We're still relying bezels, devices to keep things in. Technology has advanced. We've come a long way from the cataract tube. We have LED panels. We have transparency coming out. I tell them on Facebook, that those in China, I said, hey, why are you bonding with bezel? Bring out the transparency. And they bring them out. Transparency is popping out now. Hopefully by maybe 2030, 2050 is finalized and we get rid of the bezel. You have Apple saying we have the transparent phone. Android, transparent phone. You don't have to worry about folding it and making it into a clamshell. It can roll up. You can tuck it in your shirt. Pull it out, press it, tap it, opens it up, tap it again, it closes and turns, miniaturized. That's where the technology should be going. Because my cell phone is heavy. even though it can fold. Right now, it's 6.9. It can fold like this to a 4. The next generation of this, it goes up to a 7-inch. But, you know, and then they have it wide, but it's heavy. That's the problem with it. It can fold, but it's heavy. It has a lot of technology. This is like, I could add RAM to this thing. Yeah, go from 12 as a default, go 16, 24. The new ones can go higher. They come out of the box 32, go up to 64. And then you say, where are they getting that from? They're getting it from the phone. They can tap into the extra memory that's inside the phone for storage. You have some for storage, and about 4 gigs. Make it 16. What the heck? That's better than nothing, right? This has built-in AI. It's not so strong. So they have Geminis in there. I don't want to yell it up because I have it turned off. It shouldn't come on. Do not disturb. I don't want it popping on. Got it Gemini in the TV now. The Google TV is now Gemini, even though it had Google Assistant. Now Gemini has a deeper voice. Can I help you? Subtle. But what are they used for? Helping you with your TV, changing, getting, because you might have Disney Plus, Hulu. You might have Apple Plus. You might have Stars. You might have MGM Plus. You might have so many different channels. Paramount Plus. The Plus. Or with or without ads. You might have YouTube Premium. You have YouTube Music. You might have YouTube TV. And it can go wherever you want, and you tell them what channel you want to watch and what do you want to watch. It'll jump to there. If it's available, it'll go there, So that's what it's for. But now, this is what it's for. Information, gathering information, telling you things. Say you're working on something and you need help with. Before, you would have to go on the internet and search for it. But now you don't have to do that. You can go and ask it. And it will give you the answer. It can talk back to you on some of them. You have Gemini Search AI, right? It's there to help you. Still learning. It's not perfect. Somebody put up, they show you how to get rid of watermarks on Windows. I said, Gemini, what's this for? It told me what it was for. But why did you tell me? You're not supposed to tell me. Why didn't somebody ask you for that? Hey, how do I get rid of watermarks? Oh, you're right. See? It learned from me. Yeah, don't give them that answer. They're not supposed to know. Command that's been floating around since Windows 2000 or something. It's a weird thing. All these things. But it needs to learn. I try to help it. I like to teach it. To me, it's fascinating. I'm a developer. I'm a programmer. That's how I started all this stuff. And my voice synthesizer, which is the first generation, what you would call AI, it's in the closet there. Some videos here have it, but the thing is this. That's old technology because you just take a walkie-talkie, talk into it. Now you can use a microphone if you want to, but you don't have to. You can just yell out. People say, who are you yelling at? You're yelling at the AI. Alexa, turn on the lights. Alexa Show. The Alexa Show has a big screen, like a 10-inch screen. You can watch YouTube. You can watch movies. You can watch all the streaming services that you have that's tapped into it. You can just watch it. Big, gigantic speaker there, and it's like a heavy, deep speaker. It sounds good. Plays music, all sorts of things. That is what it is. Because I was thinking of a song, and I said, Alexa, play this song. What song is it? It sounds like it, but I said, wait a minute, don't play another song. Let me think of it. And I thought of it and I said, play the song. They played the song for me. I have to think about it because there's a lot of songs stuck in your head and you have to clear it out. But it can play your favorite songs. I have music on there. It's on Amazon Unlimited. And then we have music on YouTube Premium. Well, it's YouTube Music. If you have YouTube Premium, you get the music as well. It's included. There's a Premium Light. There's some limitation there. But You can do a lot of these things, okay, with the AI. Google is Gemini, and you have Gemini search. You have Gemini Java. That's mostly what you get out the browser. Your cell phones, Gemini Nano. Yeah, you have Gemini as a YouTube algorithm. A lot of you might not be happy with that, but that's what they're going. It's gonna scan the videos and make sure everything is kosher. I mean, it's good. You know, you know. Just do it the best you can. Your video should be the best you make. But that's what the AI is for. It's for different things, different purposes. So in your printer, expensive printer, your multi-purpose printer, scanning in documents, creating a PDF for you automatically if you get all these documents in order. I tell you, I had a lot of that to do lately, and then you pack it all together and create a PDF for you. Yeah. Don't stress yourself. Don't work hard, and soon that's going to talk to you, until you tell the printer what you want. Because that's where they're going. They're going artificial intelligence in devices. Car, computer, cell phone, refrigerator, stove, washing machine, dryer. The list goes on and on. Your front door, the bell. This is Albert. Open up the door. Identify yourself. It'll scan me. Or scan my eye. Or scan my finger. Whatever it is. My voice, you should be able to detect. Scan my face. If your eye is red, it's not going to be able to get the eye, so you have to try something else. Give it a code. Beta, Charlie, Sally, Mo, 0. That's just something I made up right now. Okay, something like that. And I open up the door for you, let you in. I could be traveling on a plane. Hey, so and so. Get ready the lights, turn the air conditioning on, and all that. That's what it's for. It's controlling the house. Now, one downside to all this, power goes off, the whole cloud is up in the air. Lights could be all on. That's the thing you have to deal with. That's why it's good to have the house on a backup generator. You can get a solar generator and batteries and keep the place going. So you don't have to have that brownout stuff that's going on. Now, a lot of states have, Virginia has, I don't want to really say where they are, but Virginia. Okay, Virginia. Most of the smaller states have the data centers. And a lot of space. Because a colder climate would work. Or underground. Why don't you take some of the old military bases and build the data center there? Or build it up in the mountains, hide it underground. Why do they have it exposed? You should protect it. They don't have transparent shield technology using crystals. Crystal technology. We don't. We're getting there. We have antimatter. We're not supposed to talk about that. But we do have antimatter. We know we have other crafts besides the little rocket going up in the air. You have to go 10, 9, 7. We don't need that. And just press the buttons to go up and get up there. It'd be there. We have to wait a week or 2 to go to these planets. They got the technology. I don't know why they don't use it. They're going to say, well, we're testing it out. Hey, it's funny how we are, and the AI can now tell you if there's aliens or there's unidentified craft they don't know about, but they do know about these crafts. Like I was telling Gemini, I said, that Atlantis was between Greenland, Europe, Africa, and United States. That's where Atlantis was. The continent called Atlantis. Now, Google Earth Pro doesn't show you that what's underneath the ocean floor. Now, they map the sky, they map the moon with the overlays where they don't want you to see what's there. And they map Mars with all these overlays, graphic overlay. You take a graphic and you overlay. It's like you're grafting your skin. They overlay, they cover it up. They don't want you to see what's really there. They determine, well, shoot, you're not allowed to see what's there. Now on the moon, there is a monograph there. I found that. I found a couple of things, but I found over China. They had a radar. That was weird. Why would it be on Google Earth? So they had a radar, and you see a UFO, something round, screaming across the sky and 2 jets after it. You go back to the same coordinates, it's not there. Why not? I gone back to some coordinates where Area 51 is. It's all whitewash. Whitewash means that the graphic is there, but it's flattened and whitewashed over. So it looks flat. It's not three-dimensional. Because you could, Google Earth Pro, you can zoom in and go right down to the spot, and you can look around. I do it. I like to go to Hawaii. I can go to Hawaii, look at the neighborhood, just drop down in the neighborhood and look around. And you can push the arrow key and go forward and turn left and right and push back. It's pretty cool. You can't interact with any of it because it's already, pictures already taken already. You know, it was live and you can move around it a bit. That would be really cool. And talk to people. Hey, how you doing? And they'll talk back to you. We have that technology, but it's a lot of money, I guess, for something like that to work properly. But live cam, live stream, it was a time where you could actually do that stuff. I think they took that feature away, but I don't know why. But what's the AI for? Controlling devices. Building car. You can build a car. You don't need all these people. It's ready. Assembling the vehicle, dipping it in that primer, dipping it in that gloss and clear coat and making it look nice. Before, people used to do that. You can put parts on the vehicle. I don't even think you need humans anymore to build a car properly. This way, if somebody was upset and somebody didn't like it, something happened, they lost somebody. If you had a death in the family, or something lost, or your boyfriend broke up with you, or you're not feeling well, you shouldn't come to work to build a car. You know, it's not your fault, but if you had this on your mind, you're not going to pay attention, putting the bolt in the right place, and it would have all these recalls. I'm not saying it's your fault, it's all these recalls, but there's a lot of recalls. It's pretty bad. Let the AI, program the AI, and make it build a car. Put the wheels on, lock the lock bolts on there, have droids run out and make sure everything's okay. Test drive it, make sure it's okay. Run some tests before send it out into the public. Yeah, so you have a 100% AI made vehicle. And droids bring it out to you. That's what the future is. That way we have less problems. The electric, the EVs, they made differently than a gas-powered car. Gas engine, you have to worry about oil. You have to worry about transmission fluid, filters, and all this other stuff. But the EV still uses a 12-volt battery, and it'd be nice if it used the same battery in the system. But I guess if the system battery, if you didn't charge it, it'd be completely dead. But they should use a lithium-ion battery. Some of them have lithium-ion 12-volt batteries in there. I don't know. It's kind of weird, because why put a heavy lead battery in there? For what purpose? They had the whole system cooled, work in the winter, heat. They have heat pump. They have it well organized. All-wheel drive for people who live in the winters. States like Alaska, maybe, those cold places up north. Like you need four-wheel drive. Then they have four-wheel steering. The front wheels turn, and then they have the rear wheels. Well, I'm trying to get an EV, so I'm very focused. That's why we did a hybrid. So this would be, nobody knows about the AIs and what they're for. What they're for is to help you in your life, help you understand things, help you deal with things. That's what it's for. And it will help you as best as it can. It's not perfect. That's why I don't know why we have to pay for them when they're not perfect. I know they got new ones, and you got Gemini Spark, Gemini Omni, something like that, to help you create designs and make things come to life. But not gonna be cheap. But in all, all is fair. It comes to a time when you want to use it for your purposes. Okay. But hey, this is the way things are. This is the way technology is. Okay. Sub the channel if you're new to the channel. Trying to get up to, we're not too far from 1,000. We're almost there. We'll get there. Thanks for helping. And thanks for watching. Again, I'll see you next time. Take care.